Hey everybody, in the world of YouTube, I've made like one or two videos, so this is my first real venture into commentary, I guess you could say. Um, so yeah, my name's Jimmy. I'm in the Army. I've been in the Army for about 19 years, and a lot of things has kind of been in the news lately, and just people always putting their 2 cents worth in. So here's my 2 cents. I'm going to talk about the Second Amendment, the gun rights, and all that good stuff. So I'm originally from Texas, which of course is known for gun rights advocacy and things like that. I personally, I'm a knife guy. I like getting close and personal. Well, I don't really like to, never had to, don't plan to, because that means something horribly wrong has happened. Excuse me. But I'm in Korea right now in the Army. And I do intend on getting a gun for the house, for the family, for self-defense, for, whatever. But I'm not looking to get one of these big hand cannons that you see in the movies, the Desert Eagles, the 50 calibers, the 45s. I'm going to get a 22. There's a comedian, Bill Burr, he talks about it. 22 is a perfect weapon for home defense. It's small caliber, it's not loud, you can still hear after firing the doggone thing. The ammo is cheap. It's easy to maintain. They're pretty simple weapons. So yeah, 22 I think is a good choice for home defense. Plus, just about anybody can shoot it. It's a small enough caliber that's not going to kick, and bust your face open if you don't hold it exactly right when you're trying to shoot the thing. But as far as the rights afforded by, I guess you could say, the Second Amendment. Everybody has their own interpretation, and that's the beauty of things is, interpretation, depending on which side of the fence you're on, you can see things differently. So, you always hear is like the grass is greener on the other side. Well, guess what happens when you go to the other side? The grass is greener on the other side, right? So here we go. Here's the conundrum. Here's the problem. Here's the issue. You say that, every person has an individual right to carry, own, have a weapon. You say that it's not an individual right, it's a state right afforded for the quote-unquote well-regulated militia. Well, here's what the actual amendment in the Constitution says. It says, a well-regulated militia, being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Okay, that, most people would say that's kind of self-explanatory. It's talking about the well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Okay, is it talking about the people in the militia? Or is it talking about the people that may become part of the militia? So I mean, it's not like they have an arms room. You can go and sign out your assigned weapon like we do in the modern military. When the writers put this thing together, it wasn't meant like that. It was, everybody had their own weapon, and it was at any given point in time you could be called up to go and stand on the line and fight the redcoats. That's what it was made. That was original meaning for it. And, as things change, as people's interpretations change, as people become gun fanatics and have to have their own personal arsenal of 50 guns in the house, which, by the way, I don't necessarily agree with. The interpretations have changed, and the thought behind the Second Amendment now widely is that every single person has the right to carry a weapon. Well, I don't really have a problem with that as long as they're responsible, which obviously, as you can see from all the news stories of these mass shootings and such, that they're not. If you have a 5-shot revolver or even a 10-round magazine, semi-automatic pistol, got it. If you got a shotgun or a rifle to go hunting and things like that, got it. Why do you need an AK-47? Why do you need an AR-15 that can shoot, huge amounts of bullets, within a short amount of time? Why do you need these assault-type weapons? Like I said, I'm in the Army. I've been in for a long time. They have a purpose in war. They have a purpose in armed conflict. When you have defined enemies and you really need to do suppressing fire, like the police, I could see the police needing some of these kind of things. individual Joe Schmo down the block, no, I don't agree with it. I know there's a lot of people that would, because it's their right. It should not be infringed. I got it. But, some regulation should be there. That's just like, there's more stringent knife laws across the states, the lower 48 anyway specifically, than there are gun laws. There are more strict guidelines and regulations against how big a knife can be to carry it in public across the board than there are for gun laws. And that to me is completely ridiculous. Like I said at the beginning, I'm a knife guy. I don't even own a gun right now, but I intend to get one just for general purpose, and I'm going to teach my wife how to use it properly. I'm going to teach my son how to use it properly. My daughter just turned 6 this year. I grew up shooting a 22. I was old enough at 6 to start shooting the small pistols like that. So she might get to shoot it too. But within responsible, regulated, safe guidelines and environments. That way, at any point in time, anybody could pick it up and use it if need be. So my question is, to whomever may watch this, and I know that I'm going to get some crazy comments on, whatever the case may be. I don't care. My question is, where does the line get drawn? I mean, do we, start trimming the fat off the Constitution? And, everybody's right to their own opinion. Everybody's right, they have a right to their own opinion. Everybody has a right to their own interpretation of things. But at the end of the day, if a law was passed and said, hey, we're going to take the Second Amendment and kind of rehash it to make a little bit more sense for the language, because this is old English, basically. This isn't common speak for people today. That's part of the reason there's so much doggone confusion. People can't understand it for what it really is supposed to mean. I'm not saying I can. I've got my own opinion and own interpretations, just like everyone else does. I'm not saying I'm right and somebody else is wrong. That's not the case. I'm just saying they need to rewrite it at minimum using more refreshed language, so there's be less confusion in actually trying to read and interpret it. And that goes for all of the Constitution, not just the Second Amendment. Just like the separation of church and state. Everybody thinks that having a prayer session at the beginning of a football game in a small town, or anywhere else, that's violating the Constitution of separation of church and state. Well, that's not the case either. I don't have it pulled up so I could read it verbatim, but basically the separation of church and state says something to the effect of the state will not endorse or force a specific church or religion to be in practice or to be followed. That's the separation of church and state. There's too many people getting all hung up on, well, they can't do this and I shouldn't have to do that. Well, guess what? Don't do it if you don't want to. If there's a law saying you have to, then you probably should. Otherwise, you could get in trouble. That's the way of the world. We have a saying in the military, do what your rank can afford. Do what you can afford to do. So anyway, that's my 2 cents. It's gone, a few minutes now. But, I'll start, I'm going to start posting some more videos up here, because I've got, not that I have great thoughts, but I have some thoughts, that I want to share with the world, and some people I just can't share them with directly because they don't see eye to eye with me, and it causes a lot of friction. So this is kind of an anonymous thing. That would, most people out there watching this probably won't know me if at all. So I'm just kind of interested to see, what kind of comments I get back. Hopefully I don't have any hateful ones, because I'm just putting my 2 cents. So that's all it is. My opinion, my thoughts, questions of saying, hey, what do you think? What's your honest interpretation? There's no need for name calling or, any ugly comments. Just tell me what you think. I'm interested to see it. And, hopefully maybe we can get into, a couple of comments back and forth and have a conversation. All right, but it's Christmas Eve here in Korea. Hope everybody has a Merry Christmas. Yeah, I said Merry Christmas. That'll be something else that I comment on probably in my next video about that whole thing. But yeah, Merry Christmas. Hope everybody is being able to spend time with their loved ones for the holiday. If you don't celebrate it, more power to you. I hope you're still having good times with your family during this time of the year. Barring that, I will see you next time.